In my area, which is sort of biology, then I think the AI is going to lead us to have better synthetic models of cells, of organisms, kind of digital twin technologies.
The next big thing in AI. So I think we're going to see a movement away from a domination by language models that we've seen up to this point with things like ChatGPT, and into a more scientific realm. So I'm starting to see AI and drug discovery, AI and science being the real value generators for the future.
Well, I don't know, because all the advances so far have not been impossible, but difficult to predict. So what I think is the main focus we should have is not so much what's coming next, but how do we take what we've done so far, which is already transformational, and how do we integrate that in society in a way that brings the benefits of the technology while ameliorating for the negative consequences of the technology. And we need to do that in such a way that whatever the next advance is, we can assimilate that advance as we move forward in society.
So I think one of the big advances in AI over the coming years is going to be around the interaction between the human world and the kind of digital world. So where are those blurred lines between what the AI technology can do, how that relates to everyday activities, how certain AI tools can be assisting us. Yesterday we were hearing about the advancement in robotics and AI, and this robot that could essentially go around your house doing all the cleaning and tidying up around you.
I think we have to look at agentic AI systems, and with that becomes a lot of caution. We need to think about the ethical implications and how they will impact people on this planet.
I'm not very sure of the next big thing in AI. Generative AI, people are talking about. Multi-agent systems, people have been talking about. But I think the way I would think about these things is the landscape of the world would change very differently. I think we're thinking about cars. These cars would be automated at some point of time. If you start thinking about today, there's a lot of space will be taken by cars. It's sitting down there. And 90% of times, these cars are just taking these spaces. Maybe the landscape would change when we have autonomous vehicles, because probably people wouldn't even need to buy cars. And so this would be replaced by some other kind of buildings. So that is how I would think about it. I'm not really sure in terms of the technology, but I certainly think that landscape would change.
Well, that's pretty challenging question, but what I'm thinking about is if you talk about the near future, there'll be all these, and probably the most important aspect is how these AI technology actually being used in practice, to make a change.